Welcome to a silent trading channel. Today I'll be analyzing the gold chart on Saturday, the 17th of January, to see whether the price action is still gonna reverse or is it still in a bullish trend. First thing first, I'm gonna analyze on the weekly candle or the weekly time frame. But before you guys watch, please subscribe, like, comment, and share if you like this video to support me in my content creating. So now I'll start by analyzing the weekly time frame or the weekly candle. The weekly candle has previously created a new all-time high, right? Is that right here, right? The weekly candle is pushed up, creating an all-time high at 4643.0 and then pull back to close at about 4595.52, right? And another thing, we know that candle tend to have weak on both sides, right? So in the weekly time frame, we have seen that this candle over here doesn't have the bottom candle, doesn't have the bottom wick, right? Because every candle needs to have at least wick at both sides, which means the next wick candle would at least try to push down to create a wick in placement, in replacement, right? Before pulling back up and then pushing up. Or the next thing it can do is it can create a reversal, correct? It either drops down, create a bottom wick, and then start reversing and then push up. Get it? So you'll either push down, create a bottom wick, and then pull back and then push up. Or it could create a bottom wick and then close below support, correct? And then another wick candle will start pushing up to retrace and then push down further. So there are two things the chart is gonna do is it is either gonna reverse or it is either gonna push down or dump on the price to clear off buyers before pushing back up again, correct? So we are going to wait for the weekly candle to first create a wick, no matter the bottom wick is created first or no matter the top wick is created first, because everything depends on the first movement of the candle. Because if the first wick is created by creating a top wick and then after creating a top wick not pushing beyond this all-time high here and then pulling back and then dropping down, which means price have a chance of dropping down all the way to here, correct? Because why must it drop all the way to here? In other sense or in other people term of trading, this is what we will call a fair value gap or a breaker block, correct? Because it can either be a fair value gap, it can be either be a breaker block, or it can also be an order block, correct? So price would come back to the order block to clear off, to mitigate before pulling back up and pushing down. So the next thing we know that if we are anticipating the price to come down to this low over here or this high, previous all-time high, previous high week, we can then place our buy limit at here, correct? Because right now we are anticipating for the price to push down, right? Touch support, triggering buy limits, and then drop down to clear off buy orders before pulling back up or before closing over here and then start to reverse over here. So this is one of the spot that I'm going to place my buy limit. So I'll mark this down first. This horizontal ray, it is where I'm going to place my buy limit, my first buy limit, correct? This is where I'm going to place my first buy limit. And then when I go down to the daily candle or the daily time frame, I'll see that this is the spot that price may not come back to because it should be a bit too low, and price would maybe come back to only about here, about this wick here. Because if price is gonna drop down, right, if price is gonna drop down and clear off buy volumes for the market, price may even go down over here, touch this support, this support, this support, about 3 to 4 support, right? So in this 3 to 4 support, which means this 3 to 4 support are the zone where the price are accumulating buyers, right? So after accumulating buyers, the price will drop down to clear. So the price may be dropping down to clear off after taking out support and then pushing down to create a new low, right, below this wick over here, but maybe not touching the weekly candle, weekly support, right, or the weekly wick where I place my buy limit. So if you're not patient enough and you need to get your order filled as quickly as possible, this will be my next buy limit, because price after taking out support, after taking out week, this is a spot that the price is going to come to. So here is the place where I'm going to place my next buy limit. In case the price drop down further, correct, I will still leave my buy limit over here. I'll not cancel it, I'll not delete this buy limit, because price may have a chance of dropping down further, because when price needs to clear off buyers and buyers are still holding on to position, the market will drop down and down and down, keep dumping on the market until all buyers have cleared off their position, and only then can the market start reversing, which means if you got this buy limit over here triggered, okay, then the market still need to close off all buyers and buyers are still holding on and not clearing off. The market will then drop further, which means this buy limit over here at about 4380.82 can still be triggered by the market, which means if the market is dropping down further, this order will also be acquired, correct? So when this order is acquired and you're not looking to hold on too many positions, right, you're going to wait for the price to start clearing up above and then close this position over here, which is a bit worse than the what? Than the previous and then the bottom position. So if you're looking to hold on as many positions as possible for the maximum take profit of yourself, right, you're going to be able to hold this and this position. But if you're not going to hold too much position, when you get this position, you'll clear off this position if the price goes to break even. And then if the price break below even more, you're gonna be able to enter more and more position, because your liquidation price will be down further. So you will have more chance of finding or acquiring a more better entry, correct? Because if price is gonna drop down further to if price is gonna drop down further here, touching this support, right, which means touching support means triggering buy limit. So when triggering buy limits means the price need to dump off further, right, we are going to place our buy limit at this spot over here, which is the lowest wick over here, which is the lowest wick of this key support level, which means if price is gonna trigger or accumulate buyers over here, right, the market would then dump down to clear off all buyers from here, and from above. And after clearing off all buyers from free zone over here, is only the market able to start reversing. And if you've got your what, if you've got your position over here and the market start reversing below here and then start pushing up, right, I'll give you an example. So if the market is gonna push down first over here, yeah, and then start reversing, but it is not reversing, it is only tricking you into buying, and then push down further, right, and then make it seem as though it is reversing. So when you have got your position over here and the price start to seem as though it is reversing, close the above what, above buy position, because the price can still be tricking you into holding on buy position. So if you have closed this position and the price is going to drop down further, and after closing it, which means you have got more space to enter more better position, which means if price going to drop down over here, you're going to have a new position over here, right? So a new position over here, which means you have a better position. And when price start to reverse, or at least start to push up to clear off volume, you're going to be able to close this position over here, correct? So the first thing you're going to do is to clear off the above position. And when you have got the bottom position again, this is the position you're going to clear off, right? So when you have cleared off this position and price start creating a new low, creating a new low, and then start reversing, it is where you're going to hold this position. And if the price start to clear off buyers from the market and then push up and do a big break of structure or a break of resistance, it is where you start knowing that your position over here is safe. So the next thing the price is going to do is reverse, right? But it is actually not reversing but retracing, and then start pushing back up. So when the price start pushing up and start breaking what? Breaking resistance, it is where when price start retracing once again, it is where I will start buying more, which means I will start snowballing over here. And when the price start pushing up again, I wait for the price to reverse or retrace and I start snowballing, right? So which means when we wait for the price to push up or push down, we wait for price action to be confirmed. It is either by creating a reversal and completed that reversal, or it at least could break down, right? A sharp break below it is where we are gonna start buying, or a sharp break above is where we are gonna start selling, right? We wait for price action to be confirmed before we start entering a position. Okay, so this will be only the analysis on daily candle, and we'll start by looking at the 4-hour candle too. The 4-hour time frame is where we are gonna do our detailed analysis, because the 4-hour candle shows us that it is in a sideways down phase, right? A sideways down phase always means that price is gonna drop or dump on the market anytime soon. And as you can see, a sideways down over here, right? And at the last point of the sideways down candle, the candle start breaking down, right? And this candle break below, it is to clear off all buyers from the market after accumulating buyers from all support over here and support over here, and here, right? After accumulating enough buyers, the price then break below to clear off buyers from the market. And after clearing off buyers from the market and tricking people into selling, tricking people into believing that the price is reversing, right? So when people start selling, the price start reversing back up, correct? In a 4-hour time frame, the price start pulling back. But in a smaller time frame, the price start reversing. Like in a 1-hour time frame, the price reverse over here. A reversal is created in the 1-hour time frame, right? You see here? Yeah. So the next thing we want to do is we wait for the 4-hour candle over here to complete this reversal, because reversal is created already but not completed yet, right? So next week we want the H4 or the 4-hour candle to push down, right? Creating a bottom wick and then pushing up to break this resistance. And only after breaking this resistance can we wait for the price to retrace and then start buying. Because if resistance is still not broken, we cannot start buying, because the market hasn't started accumulating sellers yet, right? As you can see, the market was always accumulating buyers, so we cannot buy until the price has a sharp dump on the market before we start buying and wait for the market to clear, and then we start taking profit. So right now we believe that the price is reversing, but not sure yet until the price start pushing up and then start triggering sell limits at resistance. Only then when the price start retracing and we buy and wait for the price to push up again and start breaking more and more resistance. So every time we are holding a buy position, we need the price to start pushing up and touching and triggering sell limits at resistance. Only then can our buy position be safe, right? Because if the price push up and not touching resistance, not triggering sell limits, which means our buy position isn't safe yet and we are still in a danger, we are still risking, right? Until it start triggering sell limits, only then our buy position is safe. So for the next week, wait for price action at over here to be sure, because price can still drop down and run down to this below wick over here. So wait only for confirmation before you start trading, right? So for today, that's all for today, I'm gonna say. So see ya.